Hey guys, G-Man here, coming at you from somewhere in Big Sky Country. We got the drink, check. We got the vape, check. Awesome hair, bitchin' new threads, check. Just joking around, guys. You know me. Alright, so today we're going to do a fun video. We're going to do the first of G-Man's Reflections of a Junkie story time, okay? And I'm excited about this video because I thought about it for a while. I wanted to just off-rip start with all the funny, gnarly, grungy, just hard-hitting junkie story content, but I wanted to knock out some serious ones first, so that people would know that this channel is not about glorifying, dopehead life or junkie life, right? But it feels good to reflect. For me, nostalgia and feeling good can be like this, right? Even if you weren't really happy in the times that you're reflecting on. And another reason I like to reflect and tell stories about the darker days of my life is, it's refreshing to be reminded of how far you can go and how far you can make it when you're trying to change and get out of that life if that's what you want. Again, if you're in that life and you're cool with it, hey, I'm cool with that too. I'm not the kind of guy to be like, well, I'm better than you because I don't slam dope anymore. That's not me, right? Anyways, so today's story takes place in City Heights, San Diego, I believe around 2011 or 2012. I was unsure of what story to crack this off with, and I talked to a few of my dogs and my coworkers and my dogs, my bros, and it was pretty much a general consensus, yeah, you gotta tell the Come On Mouse story. So that's what we're doing. City Heights, San Diego, around 2011. A dear friend of mine started up a band, and two of the cats who were in the band with him lived in this rundown-ass, dumpy-ass pad, right? And in this pad, a room came open. And I wanted it, right? Because I already knew these guys. They knew me well. I was pretty much living there already. Because I was one of the few cats that they didn't get pissy with if I'd come over without calling or whatever, So they were pretty cool with me. And I was cool with them. They were my good friends. And hell, you know what? I still got a lot of respect for these guys. And this story might sound like I'm trying to rip on Guy personally, who's the main character of this story. I'm really not. The truth is, the dude's had a hard life. He had a lot of issues going on in his life at this time. But you know what? We're going to keep it 100 and no name dropping here. We don't do that shit on Reflections of a Junkie. G-Man knows better. So anyways, I'm going to tell the story, but I'm going to respect the dude's anonymity. But if he ever sees this, you're going to know I'm talking about you. And just know, dog, it ain't nothing personal. It's just a funny story, okay? All right. So, the two guys in my dear friend's band had a room open up in their dumpy-ass house, and they let me move in, reluctantly at first, just because they said that, yeah, we respect you, we like you, and all that, but we're just worried you're going to have trouble paying the rent, and we're worried that we're all going to start doing black all the time if you move in here. And I looked at them and I'm like, motherfucker, you guys are doing black all the time anyways. And eventually they caved and they're like, whatever, you can move in. And the rent was dirt cheap. I mean, we're talking like $220 a month plus a third of the utilities. And in San Diego, even at that time, that was virtually unheard of. All right. So, the two guys in my dear friend's band I was living with, okay? One of them we'll call Birdman, because he was real skinny. He had, he had them legs that it looked like bird legs, right? You ever heard that expression? Oh, some bird leg ass cat's over there, right? Or look at that bird leg ass dude. You need to eat, boy, right? Right? So we'll call one of them Birdman, and then the other guy we're gonna call Mr. Mouse. Okay? Again, just to respect anonymity. So honestly, me and Birdman didn't really get along all that well. Birdman was kind of like the roommate who wanted to always call the shots and say, "No, this is how it's gonna be." He had been living there the longest. He was the only conduit to the landlord, right? Which did actually give him a considerable amount of power over us, right? But he wasn't that bad. We didn't really click that well. We didn't vibe, right? We weren't vibing. But Mr. Mouse, I actually had known Mr. Mouse since preschool, okay? I went to the same preschool as Mr. Mouse. So I knew him and his parents really well. And we were best friends on and off in elementary, middle school. We were even real good friends in high school, and then we ended up being roommates. Well, the dude Mr. Mouse started acting really, really weird. He started getting real serious mood swings out of nowhere. I remember at a show they were playing, because I went to every show, because I rock for my boys, right? I rock out for my boys. So I would go to every show, even if I was the only motherfucker on that dance floor, I was there dancing for them, right? And Mr. Mouse started acting really weird, and at one of their shows, I had 3 different people come up to me and be like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on with Mr. Mouse?" I'm like, "I don't know, what are you talking about?" And they're like, "Just go look at that fool's eyes." And I was like, "Alright, whatever." I didn't really give a fuck, right? I don't care what dude's doing. But anyways, I end up crossing paths with him at the bar. And it's not too bright in there, it's a bar after all. A dingy one at that. And there's not much light, but there's enough light to where I can see his eyes. And it's dark in there, so there is no way that dude's eyes should have been that dilated. Excuse me, I think a kitty needs to come in. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. Get in before I shut the door on you. Come on. Ugh. This is one of my kitties. This is Abby. Anyways, I could tell dude's got just saucer pupils, right? Like he ate some shrooms or something, right? I'm thinking, that's kind of weird. And I noticed he's also fucking gritting and grinding his teeth. And I thought, okay, maybe dude popped some X, right? That was popular with that circle I was in. Whatever, man. Again, I don't give a fuck what people do. If they don't fuck with me, I don't care, right? So, anyways, I remembered that, I remembered that bit, that people had mentioned something, and then I seen his eyes, and he was, clenching, right? But again, whatever, right? Well, the weirdness doesn't stop, right? And eventually Mr. Mouse starts picking himself, right? And he's picking himself, and he's picking himself on his back, right? On his back. He's got a spot on his back that's like this fucking big that he's picked raw, okay? Gross, right? Ugh. And it got so bad that people started thinking this fool had scabies, okay? That's how savage it got with the picking. Okay. One day, like maybe a week after the show incident, I'm sitting on the patio drinking a beer with some homeboys, and I hear this motherfucker making a ruckus in his room, right? So, like a loud ruckus, right? I mean, I'm on the patio and I can hear dude. So I go in his room and I'm like, I knock on his door and he answers it and I'm like, "Hey, you alright, dude? You good?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, there's a fucking mouse in here. I'm trying to fucking get it. I keep playing PlayStation and the fucking mouse, every time I look over, he's sitting on my desk just looking at me. And I get up to try to get him and he dips and he keeps coming back." And right then, I knew something savage was going on, right? And I was like, "Oh, Alright, fool. Well, hey, you should pick up some fucking bait strips, some of them poison bait strips, and just annihilate them. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And I was like, but you're good? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, all right, well, I got company, so I'm going to go back out here. You can come out here and suck a beer with us if you want. And he goes, no, I'm good. I'm on my PlayStation, bro. I'm good. Whatever. So that was weird, right? And then fast forward, like another 3-4 days, this one chick, real cool chick, I ain't gonna blast her name neither, but we'll just call her Lady D, okay? Lady D was crashing on the sofa at this house because she didn't have nowhere to go, and she was really pretty, so of course, I mean, a house full of bachelors, who's gonna tell a pretty girl she can't sleep on the couch, right? So, one day, Lady D, me, Birdman, and a couple other guests, my dear friend who started their band, we're all kicking it, right, on the patio. And literally, one day, out of nowhere, the sliding glass door slams open, and this fool has like a bag of like kettle corn or like cheddar popcorn or something like that, like one of them big bags you can get at like the circus or something. He's holding it, and he just slams open the sliding glass door, and he just hucks the fucking bag of food out onto the patio where we're all sitting. And it's like wrapped up and sealed so it don't spill everywhere or nothing, but the bag of popcorn just like boom, boom, boom in front of all of us. And we look over at him like, what? And he goes, God damn, I don't even have any food in my room. Just take it. And he slams the door shut and storms off. And slams his room door. And we all look at each other. And we're just like, man, that fool is losing his fucking mind. Right? And it eventually starts coming out. Because people are like, okay, dude's on speed, right? Well, guess what? It wasn't speed. Dude was on bath salts. At this time, I think spice might have already kind of been X'd out where I'm from. But bath salts were still a big thing, okay? And this is the final kicker right here, okay? One night, okay, at like 2, 3 in the morning, I'm in my room, Lady D's on the couch. I don't know where Birdman is. I'm assuming he was in his room. But it was late. And it sounded like 2 grown men were fighting in a room full of shit, right? It literally sounded like there was a life or death struggle going on coming out of Mr. Mouse's room, okay? And I remember I thought, oh fuck, dude, somebody's here and he's in trouble. So I grabbed a fucking a pipe, like a piece of pipe like this long, and I grabbed it, and I fucking walked up to the hallway, and I seen Lady D. She's getting off the couch out of bed, and she's looking at me like, and I look at her like, I don't know. And I was like, I'm gonna find out though. And she gets up, and the struggle noises keep going, just right? I mean, gnarly struggle noises, right? And we're both creeping towards that door, just so afraid to open it because of what we might see, right? And I'm reaching for the doorknob, got the lead pipe cocked, right? It was this way, actually. I'm right-handed. And I'm reaching for the doorknob, and right before I grab the doorknob, we hear this come out of the room. We hear, no, 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 no! Oh, come on, Mouse! I don't even have any food in here! And me and Lady D just looked at each other and just shook our fucking heads and giggled. I went and put the lead pipe down. I think it was actually a copper pipe. I don't know. It was some kind of piping. It was heavy, though. So maybe it was lead. I don't fucking know. And, yeah, man. Oh, man. And, looking back on it, when it came out that he was doing bath salts, all that weird behavior started making a lot more sense, right? And, everybody razzed on this dude about it. Even dude's mom came by the house and was like, so, hey son, I heard you got a new pet mouse. Even the dude's own mom was razzing at him. If you if you're ever gonna fuck with bath salts or stimulants or anything like that, man, force yourself to take a break. Because if that's not a testament to how badly you can lose your fucking mind on that shit, I don't know what is. Anyways, guys, that's about all the time we have for today. I don't want to fucking make it a long, drawn out ass shit where you lose your attention and focus. That story probably wasn't all I cracked it up to be. I think it's funny. A lot of people I tell think it's funny. Anyways, we're going to be doing more story times. I think the lighting quality and audio quality have both improved quite a bit, and there's no camera wobble. But we got a long way to go. I still don't know anything about editing or editing software or anything like that, but we gonna get there. Alright, guys. G-Man, your favorite YouTube recovered junkie, psycho Billy Greaser motherfucker, San Diego boy, checking out.